From time to time, I love to talk about slips. I feel that slips, aside from our undergarments, are the foundational piece for the best dress. I think that this is something that many women still use, but it is something that is not as common today as it was in past times. So I do love to bring this subject up because I think that so many women who are going back to wearing dresses or wearing dresses for the first time, this is the first time that they're being exposed to slips. So in today's video, I'm talking about dressing our chests and just how we can do that, especially utilizing a slip as a tool instead of maybe what it was utilized for several years ago, or even still today, what people use them for. But anyway, I will get into that in a minute. I also want to remind you that I am going to be sharing another subscriber's closet at the end of this video, so if you are interested in seeing that, please stay tuned until the end and I will reveal that closet then. This video is brought to you by our patrons and all those who have purchased from the Inspired by Nikki store. Thank you. I want to welcome you if you are new and hope you will consider subscribing to be inspired daily to make the everyday beautiful. Okay, let's talk about this week's worth of dresses and just dressing our chests. This is an area that some women are just really uncomfortable talking about. If this is something you're uncomfortable talking about, feel free to leave this video because we are going to be talking about using the right bras as well as finding really great slips that can pair well with the dresses that you have. So I am an advocate for shopping vintage style slips. I think that they just made them back then in a way that they really don't make them today. And there was just so much more of a variety, and they look beautiful. They do still have slips today that are being made that, you know, I found a few and I've linked them in my description box below. I think that these slips are great too. I have a couple of them for myself, and I really love the cut of them, but still there's something different about them than how they used to be made. So if you have never tried on a vintage slip, something that was maybe made 20 to 50 years ago, I would encourage you to. I've been purchasing mine off of Poshmark. I have so many of them, and I would say like the majority of them came from Poshmark. They were secondhand. I've also purchased some from Goodwill, and but like I said, I've also purchased some new as well. So okay, speaking of dressing our chests, we like to make sure that certain areas are covered. Whatever makes you feel comfortable is what I would encourage, and not to settle. So for instance, if there's a dress that you have that may be cut really low and it just makes you really uncomfortable to wear it, you feel like you can only position yourself in such a way that, you know, where you can't move freely, or else you may expose yourself. So one of the things that I like to do is make sure that I'm always wearing a slip with my dress. That way I can make sure that those areas are covered, especially what I want to have covered. And it's not that big of a deal to me if a little bit of the slip shows, because to me, I would prefer for that to show than I would for my skin or my bra. So when we're talking about, you know, the kind of bras that we are going to be wearing for underneath a dress or just with anything, you want to make sure that you get yourself sized frequently. That way you can ensure that whatever it is, which one you are wearing, fits properly and it's not digging in, it's not riding up in the back, and there are just certain things that looks so much better when it fits properly. Now with slips, many of you have seen just undershirts that you can wear to wear under, say, a really low cut shirt or a low cut dress. And then you would put that tank top or that camisole underneath so that nothing can be seen where you don't want something to be seen. This is how I use slips, but I also just use them under a dress anyway because it offers an extra layer. It offers, you know, just that for modesty purposes, not being able to see through the dress. Yes, a lot of dresses are lined, but then some are not, especially when you're talking about a wrap dress. Wearing a wrap dress, you would definitely want to wear a slip with that, because any little gust of wind, it can open up, and at least you would have that barrier there. So that is something that I think is really important, and as well as just the fact when something is wrapping, you would like to have something underneath, because even if you like move a little bit, sometimes that can poke open, and so you want to have something else there. So those are just some tips that I have. Let me know in the comments below what you like to do, and also if you have been finding vintage slips, please let us know in the comments below where you like to purchase yours, or even new ones. If you have a company that you think is really great and worthy of sharing, please do that in the comments below. All right, let's get into the dresses that I've chosen this week. So I have this variety of dresses here. This cream one is a go-to. If I had to choose, I would say, I don't know, 10 items to wear for my wardrobe, this would definitely be one of the ones that I would save. So there are certain dresses that I like to wear weekly, or just they're constantly, you know, being cycled through what I'm wearing each week. This is one of the dresses. I love the fit of it. I love the flare and just how much it covers everywhere. And it has a really great swing to it. I have this cream, which is more of a tan cream than the cream that I'm wearing now. This is more of a bright cream or ivory, and that I guess would be more of a cream tone. And that one I've struggled with because it does open quite a bit in the chest. I still never got it stitched up, but because I don't have it stitched up, I like to wear a slip underneath that really covers the chest area well. I think that it's great because it's not a V-neck slip. It has that extra little piece of lace in the middle that I think is really nice, that panel, and it's thicker, so it's not something that I'm concerned about seeing through the slip, because sometimes you can see through some of these slips. So another thing that I wanted to share, if you can see through a slip in certain areas, is to layer your slips. Sometimes I layer mine because there's one that I really want to be pronounced that you can see right past the dress, but I wouldn't want to see through to my skin. So you could just add an extra layer of a slip, and then that is very helpful. Now it's time to share another subscriber's wardrobe. Today I have Debbie's closet to share with you, and her closet is in an RV. There are 2 drawers beneath this small wardrobe that she keeps her undergarments, sleepwear, and leggings in. Because this wardrobe is short, she has to fold the dresses in half on the hangers. She says that she has 2 neutral skirts and keeps a few blouses and cardigans that are a mix and match. Now she lives in California, so she only needs to add a cardigan in the winter with her dresses, and sometimes leggings. She says she has to be very intentional and minimalist to make this work, and she would like to go with more of a softer, cohesive color palette, but it's something that she's working on. Her best advice for tiny closets is to have the same hangers. Hers are the thin flocked kind in pink with rose gold hooks, and she got hers on Amazon. She says to really plan out your wardrobe because you can't have a bunch of random items when space is limited. She tries to get things that have multiple uses and to have neutral accessories that can go with everything, like her pearls. I think that she has done such a great job with this little space. It really inspires me to even see what I would do in such a small space like that. And I look forward to doing that when we go camping this year, because we are going to be using an RV ourselves. So it's just something that I think is so fun, just to have a very small space to work with and to see how you can, just make the best of that space. And I think that we can all agree that the best part is that she has her Inspired by Nikki apron hanging right there at the door. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope that this was inspiring in some way, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye everyone.